Hello, fabulous superstar Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of June 2023. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. And it is a very special time. We have big celestial events taking place, and they start off early out of the gate. It is going to be on the 4th of the month that we have this month's full moon. Now, this full moon takes place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with friendship and group alliances. It also has to do with your loftier aims, the higher hopes and wishes that you have for your life, and also really big opportunities that build on the successes of your past, and also prosperity that builds on the successes of your past as well. So you can see that this is a rich part of the sky, rich with symbolism, but the focus tends to be on people here. People that you're connected to, whether as acquaintances, through professional groups, personal groups, or one-on-one friendships as well. And so this full moon is in a larger configuration that astrologers call a grand trine, this time in fire. This is a larger, supremely harmonious connection taking place between power placements. We have the full moon in Sagittarius. The other fire signs lit up are Mars in Leo and Chiron in Aries. And here you have this configuration of so much power and determination. It's about owning agency in your life. Now, all of these placements, the full moon in a friendship part of your sky, it is Chiron in a part of the sky for you that has to do with your connections with your immediate community, including your siblings, cousins, and neighbors, and networking with other people. And it is Mars in your opposite sign. These are the social houses. So these are all the parts of the chart that deal with other people in your life, how you meet them, how you connect with them, how you maintain connections with them as well, and the nature of those alliances. But the nature of fire is very self-governing. It's very self-initiating, but it's also one of confidence and passion. So you can see here, chances are at this time, it's going to feel like you have the support of a lot of different people. This is a full moon. It illuminates, but also brings things to a close. And you're getting a chance to really see how you feel about all these different types of people in your life, and perhaps making some conscious choices. But here's the thing. We've also got an interesting alignment between Saturn and this full moon, Saturn in a financial part of your sky. And so one of the more immediate ways this energy appears is that money and friends do not mix at this time. And money might be a deciding factor in the choices that you're making. That may not necessarily be a bad thing. And so, on the one hand, if it feels as if a friend needs money, or if you've gotten involved in some financial entanglements with groups of people, well, the discontent around that may feel strong at this time, but you're also feeling as if you're ready to make a decision or a choice with whatever power you feel you have. It is Saturn that represents being honest with yourself. So it's an energy of stark clarity, but it's also an energy of stability and maturity. So you're making a choice from that place, especially when it comes to how your money and groups converge. It could be a lot more personal as well. A friend and a financial agreement may come to the surface in some way. The other way this energy may play out has to do with how your participation in particular groups or friendships, it's not so much that they're costing you money, but they're not honoring you by reciprocating money based on the value that you're placing on what you are offering at this time. And so your decisions are going to be uniquely your own, whether to stay or whether to go. But this is a turning point moment. It is a moment of emotional truth, but also understanding what agency you do have and claiming that agency as well. It is an energy that asks you to own your power, to decide the best way for you, whether that is to continue involvement with a particular person or with a particular group or to go a different way. Other Aquarians may, in addition, experience this energy having to do with those loftier aims and how self love aligns you with the sacrifices that may need to be made now. And it also has to do with an understanding of really big adventures you may want to take on and how it is that the money part of it lines up or not. So, you're evaluating making stark choices in some way, but in the process, claiming your power, feeling alive in the process. Now, navigating further, it is going to be on the 18th of the month that we have this month's new moon. This new moon takes place in fellow air sign Gemini, a heart oriented part of the sky for you, having to do with what you want in your heart of hearts in every area of life. This has to do with creative fulfillment as well as the children in your life as well, regardless of their age. And it's also you feeling like a big kid. This new moon is speaking in a conversation of tension with Neptune. Neptune in that financial part of your sky where Saturn is as well. And it's also in a quick moving conversation with Pluto. And at that point, Pluto will have left your sign for a few months. And I'll talk more specifically about that in just a moment. But it is at that point Pluto in the sign just before yours. So there's a lot stirring within you under the light of this new moon. So it seems like a part of you is wanting a new beginning that is heart centered, heart oriented. But there might be a part of you that's trying to figure out how to make the financial part come together. Now, I think most Aquarians are likely going to experience this in the context of what it is you think is fun for you to do, what it is you're passionate about doing, what you really want to do, and figuring out either how you're going to find the money to spend or how it is that you are going to take what it is that you desire to do and make it profitable. So that might be part of the consideration of this time. It could also be some sense of what it is that you really feel called to do on that level of fulfillment and aligning a sense of self love to make it happen. With Neptune, there may be an element there of disappointment or uncertainty, and yet you will find a way to navigate this time. That square of Neptune is tough. I don't think it's an energy that is one of clarity, that's for sure. It can sometimes suggest your own fear, but yeah, disappointment can be a part of this time as well. And I'm so sorry to say, but it does happen. It becomes really important at this time to pace yourself and be yourself. Stay connected to some truth within you, but also learn to identify the difference between fear and intuition. I think that's going to be a big lesson for a lot of us out there, but that certainly includes you, given the placement of Pluto, but yes, the very nature of Neptune as well, speaking to what's happening in that heart oriented part of the sky for you. Now, if you have children in your life, as part of having children, from what I understand, I don't have firsthand experience in that. And pets are a different part of the sky. So, as part of having children, from what I know about psychology, because that's always something I've been fascinated by from a very young age, secrets are important as part of a child's development. And really, that's true at just about any age. At some ages, certain secrets are more appropriate than others, of course. But as part of understanding oneself, yeah, you're going to have some things that you may need to keep private, and you learn to actually navigate those early years and develop self trust by also being trusted to have a measure of privacy as well. Well, this energy does say that some of that may be there. And that sense of wondering if honesty is here or not, or is it just privacy? This isn't a likely scenario for most Aquarians out there, but there are going to be a small number of Aquarians for whom this may be a factor that shows up now. Conversely, keeping secrets from your children is very healthy and very good. There are certain things that parents don't need to say to their children, in front of their children, share with their children, experience in front of their children as well. And so, figuring out that fine line and where it is the potential is there to cross that fine line might be part of your learning as someone who has children in your life at this time, and children of any age at that. Now, a few big trends I wanted to be sure to mention to you. So, one of them is Pluto, of course. It was back in the second part of May that Pluto stepped into your sign for the first time. And I want to ask you, how did you feel? How did that go for you? Let me know in the comments below. I am an Aquarian sun as well. It was, and as far as I know, with all the different Aquarians who were reaching out to me that I have in my life as well, it's been a spectrum of realization and expression. Some Aquarians have loved this energy. They've talked about how they've been vibrating and experiencing life with greater depth. Others have found it really challenging and have found it stressful and everything in between. And so I'd love to hear your thoughts. Having said that, though, yeah, it is Pluto that is an energy of extremes. It stepped into your sign for just a little bit of a taste. And now on the 11th of June, will retrograde out of your sign and will return as we step into 2024. So you're going to get a little bit of a respite, a little bit of a break. You can feel grateful for that. Have a exhale as part of your gratitude. But for all that, this can also be one of those moments that feels especially empowered and enlightened. It can be one of those energies that invites you to get honest with yourself, and with Pluto leaving your sign, to have a less intense, less emotional, less imperative, honest evaluation of what the last couple of months were meant to show you about yourself and how you felt. And you get to make choices from that place of healthy detachment from an energy that can be rather intense when you're immersed in it. And so use this time well. Remember, we are at the very beginning of a 20-year journey. You haven't even dived in fully just yet. And so these are the moments that invite a respite that should be so welcome, because it invites you to learn and also to make more conscious choices navigating forward from here. The other big news, of course, is Jupiter newly in the foundation of your chart. A couple of big events related to Jupiter taking place this month that I wanted to mention. Now, of course, I speak about a lot of this in the Jupiter special horoscope, now up on my website and in the superstar space as well. Thank you for your enthusiasm and love for that. But of course, if it is that you're only getting to know me through YouTube, you know that I will walk this journey with you as we go along, month to month, here on YouTube, and of course, week to week with Superstar as well. Having said that, here's the big stuff happening with Jupiter this month. On the 19th of the month, Jupiter will speak in harmony with your ancient ruling planet Saturn. I love this energy for you. And remember, this is happening under the light of that new moon that is square Neptune. So the confusion around the new moon, I feel like it's this Jupiter Saturn energy happening simultaneously, pretty much, because these are such slow moving energies. It ends up being a saving grace, a point of stability. And it really is your foundations, your past, your home, your family of origin. These end up being the places where grounding can happen for you now and navigating forward. And especially if you are looking to understand and give your time and your effort towards your prosperity. Perhaps you're trying to regroup or focus in on what it is that you're hoping to achieve in terms of your goals where it comes to abundance in your life. Well, this can be a time when time alone, in your own time and space, can help you to create that sense of stability right where you are at home, financially and otherwise as well in your life. This can be a time when you're so grateful for your family, but also really grateful for what it is within you, the steadiness and security you have within. Now, taking a step back at the very beginning of the month, that is when we have Jupiter meeting the North Node on the 1st of June. This energy is operational throughout the first days of this month. Now, you do need to be proactive with this because this is very fortunate energy, and it has to do with doorways opening from which new people, places, things, situations enter that represent karmic blessings. And it is through karmic blessings at this time that you're able to plant seeds. Sometimes it's not obvious right away, it's not obvious in the moment, but it is now that through those very beginnings that do transpire now, pathways open up from which blessings will flow for a very long time to come as you navigate forward from here. Now, for you, spending time at home, spending time with your family of origin, spending time understanding your roots, your ancestors, connecting to your past, these are all places where you give the universe that many more pathways for blessings to find you, not just in the immediacy, but certainly in the bigger picture of time. Now, where it comes to matters of love, that is the very big news. Now, of course, we have that new moon. Without a doubt, speaking to romance and flirtation, that can be an area that feels uncertain, disappointing, not as clear as you may like. But the very big news as well that I know a lot of Aquarians are asking about, want to know more about, is the fact that, well, it is this month that Venus will enter your opposite sign and will be there for 4 months as part of including a larger Venus retrograde season that begins this month as well. Normally, Venus spends about a month in your opposite sign each year. So, for Venus to be in one part of the sky for 4 months, that is an unusually long time. And that's what we have on offer for you now. Venus will step into your opposite sign on the 5th of June and immediately set up an opposition with Pluto in your sign. And this is a big tug of war, I have to tell you. It's like a moment of truth, a moment of intensity that lays many things very bare at this time as to the truth of how you feel about where you are in love and why. Now, it isn't until the 20th of June that Venus officially goes into shadow. This is the beginning of the path that Venus will eventually walk over again. We navigate forward. The 23rd of July is when Venus goes retro. It is the first days of September that Venus will return to where she is at the end of this month. And whatever's taking place in love at the end of this month, you will see it differently in some way when we navigate to that place. Venus goes direct early September and will leave shadow early October, very soon after leaving your opposite sign. And so you can see here, we've got this extended season coming up. It is a doozy. I want to be straightforward with you about that now. There is going to be a Venus special horoscope, so be on the lookout for that, of course. But I wanted to mention now that, yeah, this is a big energy and you're at the very beginning of it. And even the most independent Aquarians may surprise themselves by wanting partnership or finding themselves spending a lot of time of focus on a particular person. Now, here are some general rules to take into consideration. Your first impression is not the right impression, especially after the 20th of June. Breakups that happen do not stay broken up with a Venus retrograde season here. That may or may not be a good thing. Loves and partnerships, in particular from the past, have a way of popping up as well. In the context of this month with that new moon, well, you will be getting your flirt on, but there's a certain uncertainty around that, like whether it is you're not sure about their intentions, about your feelings. It's like there's mixed signals, mixed emotions, mixed feelings all around, especially right around that new moon. And yet, for all that, when Venus retrograde season happens, Venus is closer to the earth than she might otherwise be. So passion is very high. I feel like that ambivalent new moon energy will give way to that more passionate Venus retrograde energy soon enough. For those of you open to meeting someone new, what a remarkable time this can be. So it is the 5th of this month that there's a powerful attraction that may very well take place. It feels rather intense and moves you very deeply at this time. For all that, though, as we navigate further, that new moon really is key. Yes, you may be getting your flirt on, you may be meeting people, but there's just so much uncertainty, mixed emotion, questions even within yourself as to whether or not you like this person, what you're feeling. There's a lack of clarity there, and that's okay. The clarity will come. Stay open to whatever it is that feels right for you. For those of you just starting to date someone, the 5th of June is a big moment. That tug of pull I spoke of has a lot of honesty to it as well. And a lot of that energy is very all or nothing. Now, regardless of what you choose, we get to that new moon and you're second guessing yourself, feeling uncertain about whatever transpired earlier in the month. It's always up to you to decide what's right for you to do in light of your unique circumstances. But yeah, as I look at this energy, I feel like you are going to have some insight into what it is you really want to do in the context of this person. And either that will accelerate you forward and lead to an intensity of bonding, or it'll be an energy that has you saying, okay, I'm going a whole other way. And it could be somebody else that shows up that is part of the inspiration to go a whole other way. And for those of you in an established bond, what a remarkable time this can be. Now, in the context of established bonds, yeah, there could be a little bit of back and forth, or maybe the two of you not on the same page as we head towards the 5th of this month and the days that surround it. But for all that, it is this energy that can help both of you get really clear about where it is that the two of you truly are on opposite sides, and where it is perhaps that the two of you agree on more than you realize. You will find a way to negotiate and navigate this time. As you navigate further, of course, that new moon is going to focus a lot more on what you need to feel loved. And it's almost like you may not really know what that is or how to ask for it. And yet, very quickly, Venus heads into shadow, and it looks like your partner takes on greater and greater importance, navigating forward from there. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a valuable and meaningful astrological moment. Well, here we are, right? Venus goes into shadow. It is the beginning of the larger Venus retrograde season, and this is likely going to be a time that will stand out for many years to come. For all you learned about partnerships, now that can be business partnerships and professional alliance, but it can, of course, be romantic alliances. By far, that is the most likely scenario. Even those of you who have sworn off relationship may surprise yourselves by how amiable and open you are to aligning with another person. But this is really about you, and it's about your learning and learning to see yourself and hold yourself in a space of greater love. And where wisdom is there as well, you can't make a wrong choice. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership Rate. Now, higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.